What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 12th day of July. Here we are at $0.0324. 8 hours left in this day here. Consolidating, whatever. It's the weekend. We kind of expected that you'd consolidate, right? It's not too big of a deal. Here you are on the RSI, chilling right around the 50. I don't think you're finding resistance here, more like just turbulence, right? And that's okay. Looking at this on the 1 hour, let's look at the 15-minute time frame. I feel like, with crazy stuff going on, 15-minute has been a little bit more relevant lately. You do have some bullish divergence forming here on the 15-minute time frame. You actually are doing something very similar to a coin that I was just doing analysis on. You've got these lower lows, lower highs, downtrend. You turned it into a sideways trend, and now this sideways trend is even turning into an upward trend right here, right? I mean, you're even getting these higher lows and higher highs now. You do have bullish divergence setting up right here. You might come down a little bit more, just a little bit more. And I do think that you do. Right, you're at 0.032 right now. Maybe what you do is you come down. I mean, let's see. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. I don't think you go down to these lows at 0.031, but I do think you go just a little bit lower from here. Nothing crazy, but just a little bit lower. You just won't get oversold, will you? You're just afraid of the oversold zone, or maybe it's afraid of you. I don't know. It's keeping you out, so maybe it's afraid of you. Let's see. From a low here to a high there. Yeah, down to the 886. Go down to 0.032. Find support there. Get that bullish divergence on the 15-minute time frame. You'll probably find your low. Now, just because you find your low there doesn't mean that it's time to rip through the roof, and it maybe, but probably, you'll find resistance at the 618, come up, you'll kind of dilly-dally across Sunday, and then once Monday hits, then maybe you'll start to break out as you get higher, right? But you should be working your way back up, I think, between today and tomorrow. I think that you will be. And it might not be exactly this, right? Maybe it's slower than this. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to look. But I think you're very near your low, relatively speaking. If I'm wrong, if you go lower than this low, first off, that's fine. It's totally fine if ZBCN goes below this low. You could go, let's say, down to 0.0288, 0.026 even. You go all the way down there, and you're still fine. But I doubt that you do. I would think in the reality that I believe that you will not go down here, I think it would make the most sense that you find support at the 886. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. Looking at the 4 hour time frame here. 4 hour RSI does have lower lows. We've got lower lows in the RSI with higher lows in the price. Hidden bullish divergence, good stuff, right? Good looks. Yeah, you're just in a kind of a horizontal channel. Maybe you go even lower. Maybe you do find support right here at this base area, right there at about 0.031. If you go to 0.031, don't be afraid, right? A little bit below 0.032, that's okay, whatever. Horizontal channel, yeah, classic. Hidden bullish divergence, you look super fly. You look really good, you guys. You're going to do really, really well, okay? Really, really well. Super fly, man. I don't know where that came from, but hey, said it. We're gonna own it. Looking at this here. Yeah, a little bearish divergence never hurt anybody. That's fine. You're making this move down, but your bearish divergence has exacted itself. If anybody's focused on this, yeah, bearish divergence is going to go lower. No, it's already done its thing, man. This divergence has already been exacted. It doesn't need to go lower. It probably does go a little bit lower from here, but nothing too crazy. 4 hour RSI looks very bullish, if anything. It actually looks absurdly bullish. Let's see here. What about the overall high to low? High here to the low there. 0.5 down. Yeah, and I mean, maybe just like here, how you wicked above the horizontal channel, maybe you wick below. I keep shaving these numbers down, but 0.003, and again, if you go below, it's not that big of a deal. But at this point in time, to stamp it with my stamp of approval, whatever that's worth, I think 0.003 does hold its support. I doubt you go below 0.003. If you are to go below there, it's not a big deal, okay? But I doubt you go below there. At this point in time, I'm really considering that 0.031 or 0.032 will be the area that you find support at. But if you go lower, it's okay. It'll probably be in the form of a wick, just like this. Sometimes you wick out of these, you fake out of these horizontal channels. But inevitably, I think you're setting up to move up, probably not even to the golden ratio, but through it. I would bet you go to the 786, 886 area, which is something of a 0.0555 to 0.0622. Something in that area. I mean, hell, man, probably in the beginning of the week, consolidate and then continue to rally. You will be at new all-time highs either by the end of next week or sometime the following week, right? So certainly by the end of the month, we're looking for new all-time highs for ZBCN, for Zebec, which is pretty damn phenomenal. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If the question comes to mind, is it a good time to buy? Yeah, probably. Can you sit through it going down just a little bit? Like literally at the most, it would go down 8%. Can you sit through that at the most? I mean, and then maybe it goes down more. Can you sit through a 22% drop, right? If you can't do that, then maybe it's not for you to buy right here. It could go all the way down to like a 22% drop, but I'd be hard pressed to consider that we go even below like an 8% drop from here. The time will tell though, right? But if you can buy and hold through the pain, then yes, it's a good time to buy. If you buy and you panic sell, then maybe not. Maybe just wait. Maybe wait until it pumps to give you a little bit more validation. You know, there's nothing wrong with buying once the day closes above this daily close here, which is at 00362, let's say, right? If you get a daily close above there, there's nothing wrong with buying there. You can buy higher, and then if you're the type of person to get shaken out, you're buying in a strong move. In the midst of a strong move, you're less likely to get shaken out because you're less likely to see the price go lower. I don't know if that makes sense, but sometimes it really is worth it to wait. You know, if conviction's what you need, sometimes it's worth it to wait. But from here, your minimum target by the end of the month, I would think, is going to be something around like a 3x, maybe even as much as like a 4.5x. You should be at new all-time highs by the end of the month. I really wouldn't be surprised at all. Something between about like 1 cent to 1.5 cents there. And then afterwards, we're continuing to grow, right? From the current price, my expectation would be that we see at least a 3-cent price. Or no, sorry. At least, I got it mixed up with XPR. At least a 2-cent price, which is a 6x from here, okay? Or something around a 2-cent price at least. At the most, 4.5 cents, and that is about a 14x from here. Could you go higher? Sure. I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but like that, at the highest, I would say maybe 8 cents. That's about a 24x from here. That's a lot larger of a move than what you had this time, but I don't know. Who's to say, well, why can't you? We're in a much more bullish environment now with crypto than we were during this pump, and look at how well you did. You know, why can't you see a more bullish move? But overall, just understand something that goes up to 8 cents, that would promote an overall pump of like 30-something X. And again, not saying that that's impossible. I'm just saying it's less likely in my opinion. I would stick more to the idea of 2 to 4.5 cents and be pleasantly surprised if we get anywhere above that. Just understand if we do get above 4.5 cents, you're likely not going to stop at like 5 cents or 6 cents. You're going to stop at 6.14 cents or higher, right? You don't really stop in this zone. You either stop here or you stop here or somewhere in this zone in itself, okay? But I don't have anything else that I want to say. Zebec has a lot of growth to go beyond that, right? We'll do an all-time high prediction maybe in the next video if I can remember. I want to end this video now. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.